Hey YouTube, it's Apple Frog here. Uh, Recently I've been working again, so I didn't really have time for like new footage. And on my PS4 I have a ton of footage. I just kind of saved. So I decided to use all those footage and yeah, make the background video for a while. Eventually I think I'll go to like really old videos, probably pretty outdated videos, but still, I hope it's okay. And I got a new software, so I mean, like a video editing software. So we'll see how it goes. This video will be using by that software. So let me continue with the last stuff we're talking about. The failed weapons that those weapons are not good enough to be School of Tryhards. So the third is gonna be the Astora's Greatsword. This is a little bit obvious choice, but still want to talk about it. I think it's I think some random. I mean, I see a lot of random uses this weapon a lot. Um, so first of all, uh, in a Korean fight club, he usually hosts the fight. I think his name is Incubus. No, Dark Incubus. Uh, I think like he is one of the best ultra great sword user I've seen so far. But like I have fought him several times and I only won like twice, and most of the time I lost to him. The one thing is that I'm very used to. I'm in Korea, and I'm very used to fighting, Americans or Europeans. But uh, and recently I'm fighting Korean peoples, which in Korea we have a very low ping, like ping. It's usually less than 30, most likely 17, 15. That's what I used to get in the PC games. I mean, in Korea, inside Korea, it's really, really fast to each other. So, and I'm not used to like no lag situation fights. So his ultra great weapon attacks are. He uses Astora's great sword. His attacks are timings are kind of unfamiliar to me. It's kind of weird to say this because there's no lag and I'm complaining about it. But so that's one reason, but I don't think that's the main reason. But anyway, so after fighting him several times, I kind of noticed his strategy, and his strategy is really simple. Um, One is that he does rolling R1, and if you try to punish that rolling R1, he will roll away, and while he's rolling away, he does another rolling R1. So if you try to punish him and get close, like, you dodge the first rolling R1 attack he does, you try to punish him, so you go for an attack, but he rolls away and he does a rolling R1 to you. So, and the Astora Great Sword has a very long range. It will hit you from any range. It's kind of hard to explain, but it will hit you anyways and from any range. So you can't try to attack his rolling R1, and so you just need to roll away and roll away. And another strategy he does is he will do a R1, and so you roll into him to attack or whatever you want to do. So if you roll into him, then he will do a R2, then the R2 will catch your rolling. It and that's really also very frustrating. And the other thing is, so he uses those two things. So he'll make you fear when you roll. If he rolls into you, it means he's gonna do a rolling R1. So you feel the fear. I try to punish his roll. So when he tries to roll into him, I try to punish his roll. Maybe my timing was off, or since the no lag issue kind of throw me off. I'm not sure. He, when he tried to roll into me, I try to punish it, but he just hyper through and do another rolling R1 on me, and I take ton of damage. So when he rolls into me, I automatically rolls away, and he'll keep roll into me, and I'll keep roll away because of the fear. And when I went, eventually I hit the corner or the end of the wall, to the wall, then I'll have to roll towards him, like how should I say, like not directly into him, but kind of sideways to him. Then he will do a R1, and with that R1, he always catches me. He always do a roll catch. So I was so frustrated, so I put on a blood ring. And the funny thing was, even with the blood ring, he was able to catch my roll. So he uses this three strategy. That's all he uses, honestly. And with that three thing, he tried to play the main mind game, and like recently, I kind of figured, how to. At the top of my head right now, I can't remember how I deal with it, but I deal with him and like try to almost beat him a few times, but then he pulls out his offhand Estoc and try to poke me. So, but that's a different story. So, I mean that's a different thing. It's not the ultra great swords tactic. So well, people can say, why don't you parry the rolling R1? I'm not sure I can parry the Astora's Greatsword rolling R1. I heard you can't, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm not really used to the parry. And again, the parry timing is a bit off for me because of the lag issue, no lag issue. Anyways, but his weak side was that, I mean, he wins a lot of people, not just me. Like among the Korean people, he was really good. He's really good. But there's the one guy who constantly beats him, and that guy is using a shield. And so what I kind of noticed is that you can block his attack and attack him. Um, and then it's like fast enough to I guess break his hyper armor, and uh he can't initiate the second attack or whatever. So his strategy doesn't work on shields. And even I made Solus fight him, and Solus was able to beat him also. And I think what he did was he just blocked with a two-handed Karthus, and just took one hit with the two-handed Karthus, and just then initiate the R1 and kind of throw him off that way. So I mean, Astura Greatsword, his strategy is really tight, and it's really hard to beat. But just with a simple shield, there's no way for him to fight against it. Oh, and I keep saying the timing is off and blah blah blah. The reason I was talking about the timing is because I was trying to attack in between and roll away or some sort of those tactics. But since the timing was so off for me, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do the timing right. And so if the easy way is just to block and attack. I mean, for another faster weapons, block and attack won't work, simply because the block stun is too long. But with the slow weapons, block stuns are, you know, I mean, block stun is long, but still the other weapon is way slower. So you can still do the block and an attack. So for that reason, Austral Great Swords are not, I mean, it can't be used as the so-called School of Tryhards. So let me finish off this really quick to the next weapon. The next weapon is gonna be pretty controversial. I don't know how to pronounce it. Controversial. I think probably a lot of people won't agree with me. But the fourth weapon is Estoc. So, first of all, let me tell you something about Estoc that I know is that when Fisto was trying to, you know, make Estoc ban in his tourney, what he did was Fisto versus Czech 20 times. Fisto used Estoc, and Czech used any other weapon he can. I mean, anything he wanted to use. So, and they fought 20 times, and I heard Fisto win 20 times. So for that reason, they decided to, you know, ban Estoc. And at the time, I asked Fisto for, you know, a few fights, and he showed me how strong it was. But the thing is, that was like the really early stage of the game. But now, shield is nerfed, and Estoc speed is nerfed. So that was before the shield nerf and the Estoc speed nerf. Estoc has a good range, but I think it's not that long. The thing is, so what happened was when I was fighting Cali, this is a recent thing. Recently, I was using Estoc, you know, practicing Estoc. So my Estoc was often, and often Estoc is way faster. Not two-handing it. Just if you want it, just press L2. In fact, attacks really fast. So I was spamming L2 to Cali, and what he did was he was standing right out of the range. I mean, that's obvious. And he waited 2 hits to attack. Then he was using Karthus, and Karthus has a really short range. And he was using, I mean, when he waited 2 hits, and after 2 hits, he started to R1 me, and I couldn't not hit him twice, but he was able to hit me after that. So I have to roll away, and I did that 3 times, and every 3 times he was able to hit me. And recently, with the tracking, I mean, what I realized, I don't know how it was before the patch, but it feels like Estoc tracking is really bad. Even with the offhand R1, I mean main hand main hand R1 was so obvious. Like if you roll in one-handed, two-handed, it doesn't matter. You roll in, do a R1. If they're a little bit to the side, you will not hit him. And even the running R1, if they just kind of sway to a little left or right, you cannot hit him. It will just miss him. And you keep R1ing, and I think first 2 hit might hit. And if I think they were strafing to the side or something like that, I started to miss him. Stock tracking is really bad compared to other weapons. I mean, obviously, no, compared to the spears and halberds, especially poking halberds. I mean, halberds consistently track and hit them. I don't know if it's because the halberd hitbox is way big or something like that, but Estoc, you start to miss. And I use the Estoc pretty aggressive, like other weapons, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe I should play more passive. But other than that, it was really lacking. And also, there's a damage issue. Damage is pretty weak compared to other weapons. Even with the Leo counter, I only do 350 damages. And I feel like attack initiating the first attack is pretty slow, and the recovery on the weapon is also pretty slow. I could be wrong, but so far I've been using on the offhand and the main hand, and it was pretty lacking. I would rather use Katana Karthus. And if I try to use that to, good players, at first I can, throw them off really good. So they were like kind of, I win them pretty easily, just R1, 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 or, L2, 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 and they'll die. But eventually they caught up and, they were dealing it really easily. So I think Estoc is really weak now. I don't know. I don't think Estoc is the best stock anymore. Maybe to the new people, it's really easy to do. Still like really strong to the randoms, but I don't know. It feels really lacking. The tracking issue is really huge, and I mean it looks like Estoc is really long, but I don't think it's like straight swords. Their attack is really long, simply because the character, when they attack, they step forward. They kind of do a lunging and step forward and attack you. So it will do a long range attack. Estoc, I don't think it does that. It just kind of stands a little small steps in R1. So it's compared to that, I think the range is shorter in that way. And the other thing is the damage. Damage is really bad, and the nerf, the speed is really nerfed. I mean, on the main hand, I think it's really hard to use it, even in the main hand. So I don't think Estoc could be in the school of Tryhards. And even to show that, I mean to prove that, recently Scorpion was fighting, Scott Johns, and Scott Johns beat him with a Karthus, and Scorpion was only using Estoc. I mean, Estoc is kind of really weak right now. I'm kind of repeating myself, so I should go to the next topic. Just for an extra, factor, Cell Swords and Warden Twin Blades. I don't know exactly why. I think mainly the whole problem with that weapon is the range. So the Cell Sword with a combo and stuff, L1 L1 combo or L1 to the weapon art combo, it does a ton of damage. Like it does a lot of damage. That if you get hit by it, it's really you can just by one combo or whatever, you can take out half of their health. So if you can manage to hit 2 combos in, you're pretty much winning. But the thing is, it is almost impossible to land a hit, because to me it feels like the range is too short. And also, if you use the twin weapons, the thing is, it makes the initiating attack really slow, and the recovery is also very slow. So it's really hard to hit an attack in and out. Warden Tomb Blade itself, it's really weak, but with the bleed, it does like a ton of bleed damage, so it feels very strong, but also it has the same range with the Cell Sword. It's really, hard to do something with it. For last, I want to talk about the spells. So recently I was in, Korean Fight Club, and in the Korean Fight Club we get to meet Japanese people, because one of the guys living in Japan, and he's got connections. So anyways, so in Japan there's 2 people I noticed really strong. Everybody struggles to win him. One is Nyankuru and the Mother Lake. Nyankuru only plays with Japanese. Mother Lake recently comes to some American fight. I mean, Guar. I don't know. You guys know WTF Guar. He does a lot of fight clubs almost every day, and Mother Lake comes to that fight club and fight with the Americans. Uh, Nyankuru is uses sorcery, mainly uses sorcery. Mother Lake uses pyro, and they are really really good. They win most of the matches. What I remember from Nyankuru was right now he plays a little bit different right now. But when I first met him, what he did was he just cast homing soul mass, the homing crystal soul mass. He just cast that and move around, cast that and move around. But he cast it really fast, and he constantly cast it right after it show goes off, and casting goes off. And you try to attack him or dodge him. One of the soul mass always kind of hits you, so you kind of constantly take chip damages. And he does that like 5 times straight, and you'll think he'll do another soul mass homing. I mean crystal homing soul mass. And what he does is at the fifth or something like that, he's training you that every spell cast he does is a crystal homing soul mass, and so you kind of doesn't react to it really fast. And at the like fifth or sixth times, he cast the soul spear, I think, crystal soul spear, and you think it was a homing soul mass, but it's a soul spear, so you get hit by it and you took like ton of damage. But the thing is, Nyankuru HP and the defense is really low. So if I think only with three my Chaos Blade running R1, he died with just 3 hits. So I mean he killed me like with two hits of his spell, but I mean it's like his downside is that HP, but he has this pretty impressive playstyle. I mean, kind of tricky in playstyle. Uh, I mean, right now he uses different spells right now, but I can't remember what he uses. Hopefully, I get some fight with him and record it and show you guys. And Mother Lake does these pyro combos. Like he throws the black serpent, and if you roll away, I think he will. No, if you roll away, he will do a running R1 with his uh, straight sword. I think it's a dark infused, and you try to attack. You keep the gap. He keeps you close, and R1 just punish R1 attack you, and with a fire surge thing. But when you make a distance again, and he will cast another fire serpent. No, the black serpent, and if you roll into him, then he will cast the big fireball thing. I can't remember the name of it. The fireball thing, and it will hit you. Like he has this combo he does. It is really tight. Like it is very promising combo. Like combinations that he uses, and it's really strong. It's really hard to win, and I don't know, have you guys seen this YouTube, the fireball master that he does? Predicts he throws the fireball with a prediction and always lands it. And luckily I was able to meet him once. He only does invasion. So what happened was I was summoned as blue, and luckily he was in the world. So I went to fight him. And so since this is the random invasion situations, he was doing his stuff on YouTube, and but funny thing was, I never got hit by his fireballs, but eventually I lost to him. What happened was he ran into the enemies, and I'm not used to fighting random invasions, and I was kind of stupid running into him to fight while there's a bunch of enemies. So I got caught by the enemies, and he punished me. So I lost him, but I realized that his prediction throws didn't work on me. So I think it's just the random invasions. Random people only works on those people. So it's I think it's those magic users. Just that we are not used to them. I mean, they have a very promising combinations of magic and spells that they use it, but for some reason, I don't know. I'm not still not sure. I haven't fought enough, but I still win them. Time like it's half and half. Like it's not that they're gonna like win me all the time, and I don't even know how they fight, and I still win them, and that's kind of tells me that I don't even know how I win, and but I still win means that it's not a very promising combination. I don't know. Maybe if I learn a little bit more about it, I should maybe I should learn more about it and then talk about it. This episode is kind of a little bit overall kind of feels like half-assed. Anyways, so that's why I think it's not can't be a thing. This try hard thing. Speaking of these Japanese tryhards, kind of reminds me one thing. I want to talk about small rant about these Japanese players. The thing is, Japanese players they tend to do region lock only, and so it's really hard to meet Japanese as a random or summon random. Mostly likely good Japanese player play only with other Japanese player or in the same region. Uh, and I heard only and if you have a Japanese version, you can meet them. But anyways, they likely not gonna fight you if you have a lot of lag. And Korea and Japan has a manageable lag, so they tend to fight us. And so the Korean Fight Club is kind of influenced by Japanese, it seems, and they say, well, so I introduced the Korean Fight Club people to the Americans and EU players that I know, all my tryhard families, and he was complaining a lot about these lags and the connection things. So he's saying these because of the lag, he couldn't play really skillfully. Like he can't play. Oh no, he can't play precisely. So he's like, what he's saying is that when you fight Japanese, you always like are both are on the tip of the edge of the sword. So one step with the one step, the range makes the really the range fight, spacing fight, and like something like they say you can't outrun the running R1 or blah blah blah. But the truth is, I have seen those in fighting with Americans, especially being in Korea and fighting in Europeans or whatever. I seen them do that, and especially the running R1 thing. Uh, so this is really rare to seen. What seen is that running R1 kind of tends to have priority of over everything. So it is almost impossible to outrun the running R1 in the lag situation. I mean, just in normal fighting situations. And uh, but recently when I was fighting Cali, in Cali, what Cali did was he outrun my running R1. I mean, I was in a pretty good distance, but he was able to outrun my running R1 and turned around as my running R1 was finished. He punished my running R1 with a normal R1s. So, which means, and Cali if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but Cali's in South America, so which means it's like really far from me, and South America tends to have very bad connection with me. Maybe I could be wrong. He's in Europe, but usually Cali and me has a very bad connection. So so it doesn't mean it's not lag because he was able to do it. And usually when I fight people, how I play is I think a lot of people has this concept of like visually reactive play. They believe in visually see what they're doing and visual parry. Like a lot of people say you can't do visual parry because of the lag or something like that. But the truth is, there's no actual visual reaction play. It can't be done. It's all about like knowing the inevitable of moves that has a tell. And usually with the experience, you know the tell. Like if somebody's trying to do a running R1, they have to do a lot of preparation to do a running R1, and you should be able to see that preparation, and you acknowledge he's gonna do a running R1 way before he's gonna do it. You'll notice his rolling R1 because he's rolling towards you. Like and like eventually what happens is it's all based on experience. That if he does this, it means he's gonna do this. So you will prepare your next move based on seeing those moves, and you will react to that earlier. So, like one of my videos, I don't know if you have seen it. Like I was fighting Solus, and he was so laggy and he was skipping around, but I was able to parry him because um like that's how I usually fight. Even I don't care there if there's a lot of lags because it's almost inevitable that most people are gonna do, if they do this move, they're gonna do this move. That's like limited choice, and I just need to predict which they're gonna do it. It's never actually a visual reaction play. Nobody actually does that. It's all about the reading the tell, and based on the tell, you predict the move and you react based on that. And also with the PC people, I mean, recently as I said, the first stage of Tryhards, they're all on PS4. That was the PS4 history story of Dark Souls 3. But recently, PS4 is almost completely died out. Now it's like the age of PC has come. All the big YouTubers are all on PC, and they're getting a lot of attentions, and they're starting to do tournaments and stuff. So now it's like the PC is growing in the Dark Souls 3 scene. And and one kind of frustrating thing, those big YouTubers also has the PS4 version, and they always complain when they come to PS4, the low frame rate issue, the half frame rate issue, and they say they can't play precise. As I said again, they think visually they can choose something to do on visual, but the reality it's not that. It's based on all the tells and predicting and knowing each weapon. So like somebody's over there, and if he's gonna attack, I have to be this far to know what's going on. Like I mean, like to avoid the attack or whatever. If you don't know the weapon, how it works, the range and stuff, no matter how high the frame rate is, how good the lag, there's no lag, like how good the connection is. If no matter like how matter no matter how much no lag is there, you're not gonna visually see it and react to it. It's all about already knowing the weapon's properties and moves properties and the inevitable moves that they're gonna do on the previous move. So I really don't like. It's kind of stupid how people. Okay, I shouldn't say stupid, but I just don't like how people complain about these. And the funny thing is, Baba is PS4 player, and I think he mainly plays on PS4. But he also has a PC version, and every time there's a PC fight club, he likes to join it. And when I talk to him, he always complains PC is more clunky or weird. And he's even the PC player starts has to agree that he's one of the best player. And also in PS4 he's the best player. And he says PC is more weird. It just but he still plays good. He kind of says it's weird, but he still plays good. And even Scorebrand. Scorebrand is really good. Like everybody knows that. And he it seems like he mainly plays on PC and he comes to PS4 and I never seen him complaining about the. I heard somebody telling me that he was complaining about it, but I never heard it from directly from him. And one time he was complaining about lag, but that was lag, not PS4. And he has no problem playing good in PS4 also. It's not about connection or the PS4 or whatever. It's all about just knowing what it is there. So again, I think I did a pretty long video again. Thank you for watching. Next video will hopefully not be too long. Next video is gonna be like the what can be the School of Tryhards. That seems to be very good. Well, thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.